5 brand new cars coming to the Crew Motorfest in the update tonight? No, tomorrow. Wait, what day is it? Tuesday? Tonight. This BMW update is coming to an end, and the first car that we're getting going into the next update, the next month, the final month of this entire update till the NASCAR, RC car, and Race Creator update. Well, this month begins with the On-X Off-Road Jeep. You only have to have played one event. You could have gotten 0 points. Truly 0 points. You could have DNF'd a race, and you will still get bronze this week, is how easy it is to get this car. Then again, I wouldn't recommend it because there's actually some unique events in this summit. Likely all of them will come back in the main stage legacy, but these are events that we've never gotten in the game before. They're not just reskins. But from what I've heard, from what the sweats think, this thing isn't gonna be very good. I mean, it's nice that it's a completely mega free rare car, obviously making it less rare, but it's still gonna disappear for 6 months now, like 5 months until we get this car back. We're gonna get it back after, whatever's after the NASCAR update is when we get this car back. So it's still gonna be rare to some extent in Rally Raid, and it's not the only car that we'll be able to get in the first week of the next month. Here it is, the post about this next month of cars and events, and it's a weird one. One of the weirdest we've ever gotten. Let's talk about the first thing first. If you own the Year 3 pass, you'll be put into your own account, have the Ford Shelby GR1 concept. That's this one over on the end. Is going to be immediately put into your account. You'll load on, and it's there. This thing will either be in street or hypercar, just based on the looks of it. It's got road tires, thus it'll either be street or hypercar. And it is a concept car, so I don't expect any customization. None. In fact, what a weird car for them to add to begin with. But this is car number 2 that we're getting on this first week. But not everyone is gonna get this car. We'll come back to that. Only the Year 3 pass owners will get it on the first week. That week being the Clash of the Gods week. Then the Beat the Devs, Year of the Horse, Timelines Collide. All of these are part of this next month. And across that month, you are going to be able to try your hardest to get level 10. Shouldn't be that hard. To claim the free returning Ford GT Ruby Edition. This thing is one of the last cars ever added to the Crew 2. In fact, it was one of the last Summit cars, especially as it dropped while the Crew Motorfest was a thing. This dropped after the Crew Motorfest had already released. We got the Ford GT Ruby Edition. Hold. Okay, that's too wide. And it's alright. Whoa, my gosh, jump scare. I don't mind the customization on this car. It just never grew on me. I think it's that hood. I think that hood just could never, ever grow on me. It's got some nice custom rims, though. I do like the rims that it has on, so I probably won't change them. And vanity items, I clearly have road tires on it, but, like, these things are wide. It's got some wide tires, my word. Look at the fitment. Hang on. Can I do that? Yeah, let me fix the fitment. My gosh. Why was it so out? Let's close that up. In fact, let's just literally... Oh, that's as low as it can go, and there we go. Why was the fitment so horrid on this thing? This is the official livery that this car comes with. I don't care much for it, but some people have made some pretty good liveries for this thing. And hey, look at that. This feels like the first time in so long that I've loaded the top liveries, and there's not been just the most inappropriate anime livery that I can't show on screen. So this thing is gonna be this next month's free car coming back from the Crew 2, the Ruby Edition. As far as matching the theme, I think they got lucky because the Ruby Edition looks like nothing. It looks like nothing specific, so Sure, it's just like a vague edition car. Who cares? But there seems to be another car that we're getting in this first week. And I say that specifically because of it being titled Clash of the Gods. And the crew also tweeted yesterday, a new god enters Motorfest with reveal tomorrow for what is very clearly a Valhalla, which if you've been keeping up with my videos, you know that we know, and you know why we know we were getting a Valhalla this update. In fact, they confirmed in the tweet, a new hypercar dropping, question mark, exclamation mark. Now, it would make a lot more sense to put that somewhere else, but I guess they're really front packing this one because this side is all gonna be promotion for NASCAR and stuff is gonna be happening around this time. But you remember when I told you we'd come back to that Shelby? Well, first of all, gold in the summit is gonna be Ivory Tower Asus, so if you want that, get gold in the summit. But this Shelby will be available to all Year 3 pass holders immediately on the first week. But if you don't have the Year 3 pass, you'll have to buy this car the second week. That being the Beat the Devs week, which they've actually promoted a little bit because it seems to be like you'll be racing against the ghost of the devs. Now, often what ends up happening is, you know, they're the ones who make the game. They're not the ones who play the game, but I imagine, I'm sure they're great, and I'm sure they're lovely, but I imagine they won't be too hard ghosts to beat. And they call this the dedicated week, so I assume it's going to be one of those unique summits that we've been seeing a lot. In fact, a lot of these have a chance to be. As far as I've interpreted, and I might be wrong, this month has looked like past, future, present, and then all the timelines colliding. I don't know, though. Maybe I completely misinterpreted that. We'll see when we see. But before we get to the craziest thing about this week, first let's talk about this down here. The TVR Peppermint Edition. The iconically British summit car from the Crew 2, which was the main stage car, just like the Ruby, for the last month of last update, is coming back in the main stage legacy. It will be the reward car for a pseudo playlist that features, oh my gosh, that came out of nowhere, 2 weeks from each of the, two events from each of the weeks from last update. As you can see, we got the ones from the previous months. This time, there will be Lotus Selection, which will let you drive the Lotus rare car that I missed. I think Halloween is also going to be there, though. I think there's Halloween, and there's, like, maybe two actual British-themed events. So 4 in total, I guess, in the MSL. But here's something I've wanted them to do for a while. On the last month of every update, they always still put the summit car on the last week, meaning we don't get that summit car till the update after. Well, for some reason, they skipped an extra week, and on the second week of February, we are getting the BMW M3 Street Rider Edition as part of the Beat the Devs week. I guess this makes sense though, because well, I don't know why they didn't put it on the last week. I'm gonna hope that it's the reason that I said, that we don't get to claim that car till the next update, so it feels like it's not even connected to this update. And then it wasn't a Lunar Year themed, a Chinese New Year themed week, so they couldn't do it there, so instead they put it the second week. That's right, within the span of 2 weeks, we get to claim the Jeep Gladiator Onyx Off-Road Edition. We get the GR1 concept. We very likely get the Valhalla as it's revealed tonight. We get the return of the TVR Peppermint Edition. The return of the Ford GT Ruby Edition. And we get a brand new BMW M3 Summit car. All in the span of the first 2 weeks of this next update. All before the big NASCAR, RC car, and race car update. But there is only one other interesting thing in the last 2 weeks. I mean, I'm sure they'll be great, but We have the DeLorean in the last week. That's all well and good. You can just buy the DeLorean though. But for the second to last week is the Jaguar CX-75 Concept Lunar Year Edition. This is a weird car. They brought this thing back and it was like silver or gold. When they first did this, it was in the Chinese New Year week, back in the Hoonigan update. This time around, it's in the Chinese New Year update. Oh, hold for this year. I guess because last year they had the Noble. So the Noble Lunar Year Edition, that ended up being the replacement for this car. But the weird thing about it is this thing has never gone into the main, the Prestige ticket store. It was supposed to, but I guess now I see why it didn't, because it released during, well, this batch of cars. It should have been there, but it wasn't in the end. Because I guess they're planning to bring this one back whenever they don't do a new Lunar Year car, which I guess is fine, all well and good, but I will say make sure to get gold that week because it's not just any car. You can't get this car separately. Oh, ouch. You're gonna want to get this car then, because then it goes back to rare and locked, like unclaimable outside of that. It is an incredibly peculiar car. But I hope the crew know that one day the game's gonna go offline and we're only gonna be able to play it in an offline mode. So this car should eventually be once and for all put into the Prestige ticket store or buyable. Should, you know. All we can do is hope. But I also imagine, because they've been doing unique summits recently, that Year of the Horse will be big and fancy and mega. And then we have Timelines Collide, which is whatever, because after Timelines Collide, we will be getting, right here in fact, the start of the NASCAR update. Subscribe to this channel to see early access and all the upcoming information about the NASCAR update. That's going to be about it from me. Thank you so much for watching in a